Our verse today is Luke chapter 6, verse 36. It reads, "Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful." This verse concludes the segment that treats love of enemies, a pericope in Luke's sermon on the plain. As the name suggests, Luke opts for a different topography for this lengthy discourse on the interior transformation of the disciples. Unlike Matthew, who opts for a mountain and depicts Jesus assuming a teaching posture, thereby evoking the narrative setting of the Decalogue, Luke places Jesus at the same level with his disciples. Luke's topography is telling. To communicate this important message clearly and effectively, Jesus descends to the level of his disciples. In storytelling, places are not randomly cited. Rather, they are carefully chosen to stimulate the imagination of readers. Unlike Matthew's account, Luke's sermon is concise and eliminates biblical quotations. What remains thus is Luke's recurrent emphasis: transformation of human fragility into strength, mandate to love one's enemies, repudiation of judgmental behavior, radiating the fruits of godliness, and varying approaches to the words of Jesus. Luke's argument on the need to love one's enemies is premised on two principles: emulating God's mercy and distinguishing ourselves from sinners. The first principle echoes today's verse: be merciful just as your Father is merciful. God's mercy translates the Hebrew covenantal term hesed, which is often rendered as loving kindness. In every covenant, God commits to two things: hesed, which is loving kindness, and emerth, which means constancy. Israel, for its part, pledges faithfulness to a God whose loving kindness is unwavering. Hence, God's mercy toward Israel is not an occasional attribute. It is an indelible trait that reminds God of his paternal obligation toward the covenantal people. God's loving kindness is unmerited. It is a privilege enjoyed by anyone who remains in this right covenantal relationship. Asking his disciples to imitate God's unceasing love and mercy exhorts them to treat every human being equally with love, respect, and care. The second principle that Luke invokes is the need to distinguish oneself from sinners. By this, Luke means that being a disciple of Jesus compels us to take the high road, one that supersedes our natural instincts. The Christian life for Luke is a vocation that beckons the individual to transcend parochial and myopic ways of thinking and to settle for an inclusive, tolerant worldview comparable to our Heavenly Father's, who makes his rain and sun to shine on good and bad people alike. May the good Lord help us to be merciful, tolerant, and supportive of others. Amen.